Best friend of 10 years ends friendship because I didn't let her drive drunk. There's one incident in particular that ended the whole friendship, but I feel like some context is needed. This might be long, and I'm also dyslexic, so I apologize in advance if this is hard to read. We had been best friends since the first day we met in the 4th grade. I was the weird extrovert girl who moved from a different country, and she was the quiet introvert, so naturally we clicked. We hung out together every day, slept over every weekend. We were practically sisters. Our grade 10 year we had first period history together. I'd roll into class stoned off my Emma fake name, would stop at the cafe before class, starting the day off with buying a bottle of orange juice, and then in class would drink about 34s of it. She would wait for the teacher to leave the room, and then would fill the rest of the bottle with Jack Daniels. She carried a massive bottle of Jack in her school bag, in the same fashion that I carried my bong. At the time, I wasn't aware of how bad Emma was into alcohol. I didn't even notice how toxic and messed up the relationship I was in even was. Then, COVID hit. She didn't have as much access to alcohol, but still some. 12th grade was when everything started to go downhill. Emma's boyfriend broke up with her. She fell down a really bad hole. She's also bipolar, so that definitely played a role. She started drinking really heavily, and became the most functional alcoholic I've ever known. She graduated high school a semester early, and started working as a baker, waking up at 4 a.m. to be at work for 5 a.m. When Emma woke up, she didn't reach for a glass of water. Instead, it was her bottle of Jack, and she didn't put it down till she shut her eyes to sleep at night. She even drank while at work. I started to get really worried about Emma. She would get completely shit-faced, blacking out every night. We would hang out at this skate park, and there were several occasions where Emma would be so belligerently drunk that she would threaten and attempt to off herself in front of everyone. We always stopped her, but regardless of what we said and did, it would happen almost every night. Guys would try to take advantage of her, because they knew if they offered her alcohol they could get something out of her. There were many times where I would say to Emma, "I am worried about you. I am terrified that I am going to get a call or text one morning saying that you were found in a ditch, covered in your own vomit. I can't lose you," and Emma's response was always, "Well, I don't throw up, so don't worry about that." One day we got into an argument. I honestly can't remember how it started. However, I do remember it ended with her saying, "I don't need someone to worry about my drinking. I need someone who's going to drink with me and listen while I complain." I told Emma I can't be that person. I can't watch my best friend destroy herself. We stopped talking for a bit after that, but like always after every fight we always come back to each other. The summer of grade 12 eventually came. Our friend group planned a one-night camping trip, and with everyone being 17 to 18, I suggested we bring only a few coolers. The group of people I was hanging around couldn't handle alcohol very well, and I didn't want us getting kicked out or fined. Emma, of course, didn't like that idea at all and refused to come unless alcohol was allowed. I finally caved in and said screw it, do whatever, because I wanted her to be there. I honestly couldn't be bothered to argue with her. The night of the camping trip was honestly a show. Emma as usual got blackout drunk. I had taken half a tab of acid, and had been smoking a bit of. Emma got so drunk she kept trying to lay in the fire, because it's warm and my legs are cold. At that point, I had enough and took her drink away. I hid the rest of her alcohol, and when she realized that she couldn't find it, she immediately started to get aggressive. Getting extremely verbal and slightly physical. She went for my cooler filled with food and dumped it out on the ground, in hopes she would find her alcohol. It got to the point where I was really starting to hold in my anger, so I left the campsite and went for a walk to calm myself down. I don't remember much after that. At this point I just accepted things for what they were. And now for the situation that ended the friendship for what I believe is good. Our first year of post-secondary, I went off to college and Emma went to university. We were about an hour and a half from each other. It was her second time coming down to visit me for the weekend. When she arrived we ran out to the bottle store to get drinks. She got two 1.4L bottles of Girls' Night Out, one regular bottle, one bottle of champagne, a 4L bag of vodka water and a 6-pack of Pombe C. Just want to mention she drank all of that plus a few shots in the matter of 3 hours. When we got back to my dorm we went down to my buddy's room to pregame. Now, I hadn't slept in over 24 hours, as the night before, I had done a candy flip and a bit of snow. After that, I went to my 8 a.m. class, so on and so forth. I said to Emma, "I am going to go nap for a bit while you guys pregame. If you want." Kate, my roommate, offered to open her room, "So you can chill here while I nap, or you can stay here with everyone." Emma said she was going to stay with everyone and drink. I said okay, no problem. Just wake me up before you guys leave for the party. I then leave, and go up to my room and nap. About 2 hours later, I woke up sober. I was sober by the time Emma got into town, but I needed to make clear that I was sober when this all went down. I woke up to Emma banging on my dorm door. I opened up the door thinking we were getting ready to leave, but instead, when I opened the door, she ran directly into my bedroom and started rummaging through her things. I ask her what's going on. At this point she's on the verge of tears, and yells at me they left, THEYRE gone. I asked her, what do you mean they left? After this, I text the group asking where they are, and they tell me they are still in their room. I tell Emma, hey, they're still in the room. What do you mean they left? She responds with, fine, it'll just leave. I sat on my bed in disbelief, genuinely shocked as to what just happened. I told Emma, you're too drunk to drive. Stay the night and you can leave tomorrow morning. She didn't like that idea, at all. I had both her sets of keys hidden away in my room, for obvious reasons, but I knew Emma and what she does, so I called my friends and asked if they could come get the keys and take them to their room. I was on the 6th floor, and they lived on the 3rd. They came down to see what was going on and to help me out because Emma wouldn't listen to a single thing I said. She was set on leaving that night. After going through my stuff, Emma moved on to my roommate's room and ransacked it. She dumped all of Kate's bags, emptying them on the floor. Kate told me Emma got in her face and aggressively reached into her pockets, so hard that Kate said it felt like Emma punched her in the stomach. When Kate told me that, I started seeing red and I lost it. I got right up in Emma's face. She was standing in my room with everyone and started yelling at her, if you are going to hit anyone here, it's me, the MF you've known for 10 years. Not my friends, not the people you're meeting for the second time. After this, she tried to pull the victim card by saying, OMG, did you just see that? Did you just see that she tried to hit me? No one believed her, and no, I didn't almost hit her. I kept my hands down. After she ran out into the hallway, I went after her and stopped her before she got on the elevator. I asked her to calm down and stop screaming. I've got really bad anger issues, but I knew if I let them out it wouldn't resolve anything with Emma, it would only make it worse. But every time I did, she would just get in my face again and again. It took everything in me not to lose my cool, and I had to remind myself that I can't hit her, or I'll get kicked out. At some point, my friend Jenna came out and took her to her dorm to try and calm her down. Unfortunately, this friend happened to be one of the people with the spare keys. While Emma was in my friend's room, I called our mutual friend Vicky. All three of us used to be super close, in a panic, and asked what to do about Emma. I explained the whole situation to her, and she told me to try and calm her down. After the call I went to join the group to see where Emma was. I asked Jenna, hey, where did Emma go? She said she wasn't sure, she ran out the room and couldn't find her. We all went to my friend's dorm where we originally started the night, and I checked Life 360 to see where Emma was. Emma was on the highway about 20 minutes out. When I saw that, I lined up 4 shots and took them back to back, sat back in my chair and just cried. I felt horrible that my new friends had to witness this, and I was terrified that Emma wasn't going to make it back to her campus. I stayed up all night checking Life 360 till she got back to her university. I texted Emma saying that she owes my roommate $45 for my roommate's school supplies that she broke. I never got a text back from her, but I heard from a lot of other people, our mutual friends, that Emma only had 1 bottle of wine, and then it went to only a few glasses of wine. To only 1 glass of wine. She ended with telling people I wasn't even drunk, and Abby myself was on coke, and started yelling at me to get the out. I didn't even do anything to her. Then Emma's roommate was friends with my friend's girlfriend and told her that my roommate, him and I had and that absolutely baffled me because out of Emma and I, she's the one who has threesomes, and not just threesomes with her closest friends. Everyone from my hometown sided with Emma, and believed everything Emma said and dropped me. All I tried to do was stop her from drinking and driving. It's been 2 years since this happened, and honestly I think about it pretty frequently, trying to figure out where I went wrong.